27th September, Saint Vincent de Paul, priest, Memoria. Born in Gascony in France in the year 1581, he completed his studies and was ordained priest and became a parish priest in Paris. He founded the Congregation for the Mission, Vincentians, for the purpose of the spiritual formation of the clergy and the relief of the poor, and with the help of Saint Louis de Marillac, he founded also the Congregation of the Sisters of Charity. He died at Paris in the year 1660. A reading from the writings of Saint Vincent de Paul. The service of the poor is to be preferred to all else. We should not judge the poor by their clothes and their outward appearance, nor by their mental capacity, since they are often ignorant and uncouth. On the contrary, if you consider the poor in the light of faith, then you will see that they take the place of God the Son, who chose to be poor. Indeed, in his passion, having lost even the appearance of man, foolishness to the Gentiles and a scandal to the Jews, he showed he was to preach the gospel to the poor in these words: "He has sent me to preach good news to the poor." Therefore, we should be of the same mind and should imitate what Christ did, caring for the poor, consoling them, helping them, and guiding them. Christ chose to be born in poverty and took poor men as his disciples. He himself became the servant of the poor and so shared their condition that whatever good or harm was done to the poor, he said he would consider done to himself. Since God loves the poor, he also loves the lovers of the poor. When someone loves another, he loves too those who love or serve that other. So we too hope that God will love us on account of the poor. We visit them then. We strive to concern ourselves with the weak and the needy. We so share their sufferings that with the apostle we feel we have become all things to all men. Therefore, we must strive to be deeply involved in the cares and sorrows of our neighbor and pray to God to inspire us with compassion and pity, filling our hearts and keeping them full. The service of the poor is to be preferred to all else and to be performed without delay. If at a time set aside for prayer, medicine or help has to be brought to some poor man, go and do what has to be done with an easy mind, offering it up to God as a prayer. Do not be put out by uneasiness or a sense of sin because of prayers interrupted by the service of the poor. For God is not neglected if prayers are put aside, if God's work is interrupted, in order that another such work may be completed. Therefore, when you leave prayer to help some poor man, remember this, that the work has been done for God. Charity takes precedence over any rules. Everything ought to tend to it above all. Since it is itself a great lady, what it orders should be carried out. Let us show our service to the poor then with renewed ardor in our hearts, seeking out above all any abandoned people, since they are given to us as lords and patrons.